Perfect. Awesome. So thank you everybody for jumping on. I've got one of my partners, DK. Jason was not able to make it. So we have a new partnership down in Florida. It's the three of us and we're building new homes. We've been friends for about 7 years. We met through another real estate event and our friend Josh Cantwell. And it's been a really amazing journey for a lot of you that know me. I've been doing apartments for the last 3 years and heavily focused on apartments. And we hold right now over 700, approaching 800 apartment units. And apartments, it's a wonderful business. The challenge that we've had in the last year or so is the prices have got so expensive. The deal flows became so difficult to be able to find these projects that financially make sense. There's a lot of sellers out there, but the prices they want are not prices that work with us, and we're never going to force a deal. So previously, we were buying apartments that had some sort of a financial distress. We're remodeling the units, raising the rents, lowering the expenses, and refinancing. And I've got majority of my apartments will be refinancing at sometime between now and the end of this year. So we have to find another project for those funds to go into, because if we're not putting those capital, those retirement accounts into a project, we're not generating interest and returns. And we have not been able to find enough projects that have made financial sense. So we've been looking at some alternative opportunities, and DK and I have been working together for over a year, and just had an amazing opportunity down in Central Florida. Let me click here. So this here is the team here, myself, DK and Jason. I'm going to speak for a little while, then I'm going to turn things over to DK. So just previously, a quick background about me. I previously was a firefighter for the city of Strongsville, which is a suburb of Cleveland. I did that for 15 years. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad about the first year that I got hired in 2002. I had plans to be a fireman for my entire career. I never thought I would leave, and I made it 15 years. And I had to make that decision what I was going to do. And I didn't want to leave there, but I didn't want to have the regret of being at retirement age and then looking back and be like, what could have life been like had I made the switch and took the risk to make the jump. And I'm very thankful that I did. Been this, what's 17 years, it's actually over 18. And father of 3, soon to be 4. DK, do you mind just giving the quick bio rundowns of yourself and Jason as well?
Sure, yes. I am a former attorney. I've worked in pretty much every capacity in real estate, from title closings to, you name it, realtor hat, to investor, to builder, court-appointed receiver. So I've seen all different aspects of within real estate, and that's what's helping us now in new construction. I used to be a board of a director of a bank down here in Florida, and I've stopped counting, but yeah, I've been in so many different real estate transactions. I know I ran 2 different law firms, where all we focused on were real estate transactions, from commercial closings to industrial parks to single family houses. And so when we analyze stuff, a lot of times I'm pulling the title searches. So instead of relying on people, like within an hour, I already know like all the finances, the operating capital, any title issues. Can we use that to our advantage when we make an offer? So yeah, I'm a proud husband, and I'm also a father of 2 girls. They're 8 and 10. And so that's me in a nutshell. And we have Jason. Jason wasn't able to be on the call today, but Jason and I, we've worked together since 2016 formally, but I actually took Jason away from a wholesale brokerage firm here in Orlando in 2016, but we've had a working relationship since 2013. Prior to getting into new construction in the last year and a half, we've done a lot of wholesaling and rehabbing. And his family comes from a strong background of construction in real estate. His father owns a retail complex in Brevard County. His uncle is a GC. His brother-in-law is a GC. His other brother-in-law is a GC. So the common theme between all three of us is real estate is in every capacity. And so I may miss something, Jack will catch, Jason may have a different perspective. And so it's like a kaleidoscope of real estate and services and skill sets that we all have that would, that's what we bring to the table here. And he's actually my broker too. So my real estate license is actually placed with him. So, that's Jason.
Mm-hmm. All the houses get sold through our own brokerage here. So, no, that's awesome, DK. Thank you. DK is going to talk a little bit more about our mortgage and what we do and what provisions we have to protect everybody, and also talking about what are some of the metrics and things we're looking for when we're looking to purchase the lots that we're doing some of our strategies. Both Jason and DK both live in Orlando, Florida, so they're local in the market, they're boots in the ground, and have the relationships that we've been able to establish. So again, with DK's background as an attorney, that's just an immense wealth of knowledge on top of our experience as investors, as well as, just all the aspects that put all this together. So the Florida real estate market, Erica coined this, and I thought this is perfect, was hotter than Florida. So why is that? And Florida's pretty hot right now. The real estate market across the country is crazy right now. I'm selling off every single one of my single family homes. I bought a lot of my single family homes for $4,000 and $5,000. I'm selling them for $135 today. The market is there. It is a seller's market. But right now, we also have some other things happening in Florida where we're having about 1,100 people per day statistically that are permanently relocating to Florida for weather reasons, for tax reasons, for maybe political reasons, for taxation. So there's just a lot of growth that's coming in there. We have a lot of buyers that are calling from New Jersey, New York. They're selling their homes between $700,000 to $900,000. They're coming to Florida. They're getting into a brand new home for $250,000, $350,000. So they're able to sit on a lot of cash and provide a lot of advantages in that. So Florida population expanding. It's over twice higher than the general U.S. population. Again, I mentioned that statistic of about 1,100 people that are permanently relocating. There's also a significant rise in vacation homes right now. I used to own 2 homes in Orlando for vacation rentals. We're also at a point where mortgage rates are the lowest they've ever been. Those are starting to slightly creep up. And that's one of the biggest things that we're really watching to maintain and just watching our market. I was a home builder back in 2008, and I just want to speak about that real briefly. When things went bad back in 2008 and lenders shut down, what really took out the big builders was builders that were sitting on millions of dollars of lots that they couldn't sell. So one of the strategies that we're doing is right now, the majority of the projects we're doing, we are not doing land development. There is going to be an exception of a couple smaller properties, but the majority of what we're doing is we're buying existing lots and existing developments that already have the streets, fire hydrants, water lines, and all the utilities ran, so then we can close in that lot, obtain permitting in 2 months, build, and close that project. So we want to be able to turn like a jet ski when we see interest rates rise versus being the Titanic and just hit that iceberg head on because we're too big. The big builders that are building 1,000, 1,200 homes a year, they're not going to be able to turn and navigate quickly because they have so much cash that's out, so many developments. It's such a big infrastructure. Because we're smaller, we're more nimble, and we can navigate around those environments. But right now, interest rates are again the lowest they've been. We also were. Everybody knows that prices have went through the roof on lumber. So right now, thankfully, things are now finally going in our favor where those prices are significantly pulling back. So a piece of 7/16 OSB a year ago was $8 a sheet. It went all the way up to $48 a sheet. So what's happened in the meantime, that prices went from 48 to 38 to 28 to 24. And when I go to Lowe's today, that the price of that board it's $12. So right now, our cost to build right now is about $8,000 less than what it was just a little bit ago. But during that time, we've also been able to increase our pricing. So our profit margins have actually increased during this time. So the biggest secret sauce to our relationship is a relationship that DK was able to establish with ODC. ODC is the shell contractor that performs all the vertical construction in Central Florida. So when I was building new homes in Medina, Lorain County, around here in Northeast Ohio, I was responsible for every aspect, and I had to touch everything. So designing the house, plans, getting the lot cleared, permits, inspections, rough-ins, occupancy permits, approvals, material decisions, material suppliers, paying vendors. I had to touch every piece of it. ODC handles all of those pieces, including they also take care of the warranty service of the house for the year after. Last year, they built 6,000 homes, and in this year, they're on track to do 7,000 homes. And to understand the logistics of coordinating all those pieces, subcontractors, weather, it's an absolute incredible, well-oiled machine that we're working with. So really, our goal going into next year is 100 homes. Right now, we have about 42 lots that we have purchased at this point, that we have permitting in process, and we also have roughly about 15 homes that are under construction at the moment as these permits are getting approved. But really, the really secret sauce that we have is this shell contractor that we have a relationship with. So these are just a few stats here. Showing here they have a 52% goal right now, and they're currently at 3,509 homes. We look at Orlando, West Florida, East Florida. We're looking at the totals of homes, of how many homes. So in Orlando, Florida, in May of 2021, they started 394 homes, which is just absolutely incredible to be able to handle the logistics on that. DK and I have conversations on a weekly basis with ODC, in-person meetings. Personally, I've been down to their warehouse, their business a number of times. DK is there on a weekly basis. And this is the screenshot here. When you walk into the lobby, is actually the stat board that they have up on the screen when you come in, looking at the metrics of material, framing, masonry, foundations, how many yards they've poured, how many linear feet. And again, just the statistics are in progress of the company. It's very remarkable. So what we're building are homes that are really, they're spec homes. So we're building the homes, and then we're bringing a buyer in. And we're doing that specifically just for the simplicity of getting these projects done. I don't know how many of you have looked to repaint your house, and then you and your wife, or vice versa, turn into like a week-long conversation and sometimes a few fights about paint colors, because we definitely have done that, my wife and I. There's so many decisions that get involved in building a home. What color roof, siding, soffits, gutters, garage door, accent colors, shutters, what design of shutters, what size shutters, how wide do you want the shutters? And shutters alone, you have 10 different decisions that you can make on that. And when you build custom homes, every single decision has to get made, and it really clogs down the entire progress of the business. So we have 6 plans that we work off of that we have approved, and they range between 1,400 square feet to 2,000 square feet, 3 or 4 bedrooms, 1 or 2 car garages on a slab. And based upon the location and the comps and the houses that are still in the area, we make the decision of what house is most appropriate for that area. First and second time home buyers are going to provide the biggest top of the funnel, where we have them access to most buyers. We're not looking to build stuff on the coast for $4 million. That's just not our model. So it makes it simple and easy, and it's a business that we can grow and scale. And we have predetermined colors and selections for those homes. Protecting our investors. So I tell everybody the most critical thing when you're looking to do a project like this is the operators, because that is your highest risk. Their morals, values, and integrity is the first thing to focus on. Second is their experience. Third is the deal itself. The reason experience is so critical is somebody that's new in this business, they don't know what they don't know. They haven't been through 2008. They haven't purchased lots where they couldn't build on because of some issue or a deed restriction or endangered species. So that's why it's really critical that you work with people that have the integrity, morals, and values. They have experience, and then you want to focus at the deal. I always tell everybody to get references from people that have invested before. And I also tell everybody to do a background check. It costs $20 on the internet, and you'll be surprised what you can find with people and just taking those couple extra steps. Again, I mentioned here, we're focusing here on on smaller homes for first and second time home buyers. That's going to be provide the most options for selling these homes. And also, if we ever needed to, these are properties that could be converted to rental properties and would cash flow. A $5 million house is going to be pretty hard to cash flow. It's just again, not the model that we're focusing on. Each DK, Jason and I, we have over 15 years experience in this business, from building new homes, apartments, contractors, crews, rehabbing, wholesaling. We all have real estate licenses. So we've got a pretty wide diversity on top of DK's legal background. On single family, well, let me step back for a second. On apartments, we issue a note and a mortgage with an apartment, but we are not able to file those mortgages in the commercial realm. We are not allowed. When somebody is filing a first lien position in the commercial world, they take the only lien position. There's nothing else behind it. There is one exception with Fannie, but it's not worth getting into that. On single family homes, it is absolutely critical that mortgages are filed on that property to protect you, to protect your interests, and to protect your capital in that project. When you have a mortgage that is recorded, that property cannot be sold and it cannot be refinanced unless your capital is returned, which is why it's so critical. So the process for us looks like, when somebody wants to come on, we will create the note of mortgage, we'll send them for approval. We will then start the process to record that mortgage, which could take upwards of a couple weeks. And then at that point, when that's been completed, funds will be sent in to us. And then we will also at the same time be sending that recorded mortgage to those individuals. DK, would you actually drafted the note of mortgage. Would you be able to talk a little bit more about some of the other attributes we've done within that mortgage to protect investors, which, again, a lot of other people would not have done this?
Yes. So one of the most important things about this mortgage is, well, first of all, we estimate our total, average time of the funds being borrowed would be about anywhere from 5 to 6 months. So we made a business decision that we're going to prepay our interest first. Okay. A lot of other investors, they say, hey, we'll pay you monthly. I mean, I used to be one of those people, but again, I don't need to talk to my CPA to, hey, cut the checks now, or, let's just make it simple. So we decided to make it simple and very easy for everyone. We will prepay our interest for 6 months first, and then thereafter we will pay 2 months of interest. Because it's just an accounting function. So when you get the payoff later, when we have a live active buyer where we're going to the closing table as the seller, we will be communicating with you. Here's everything. This is the amount of the loan that was funded, less, if there are any interest payments where, we prepaid too much, it can be taken care of. So that's one way. But the second way also that we help with the mortgagor, which is you, the private lender, is in case if something happens to all three of us, Jason, Jack, and myself, we have a death clause where in the clause itself, upon our death, it will automatically be going to not just ourselves, but we're doing a deed in lieu of foreclosure. All right. Back in 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 2012, a lot of investors who obtained money via private lenders, or even if they got a regular loan from Bank of America, they'd hired the attorney and delayed the foreclosure for up to 6, 7, 8 years. We're not about that. Okay. We're just not about that. So as long as you show the note, guess what? You're going to get a deed in lieu and foreclosure. Very simple, very easy. You don't have to file an attorney or find an attorney to file a complaint for foreclosure. We have a deed in lieu foreclosure clause. Very simple.
And good point to that, because if something were to go bad, what somebody would traditionally would have to do is they have to hire an attorney, foreclose on us, which that right now with the court system could take upwards of 2 years and thousands of dollars. So that really goes from a passive investment to a nightmare of an investment. And that's why that's done, to avoid that. And speaking to about like interest and returns and such. So when we were doing apartments, we were paying 10% interest with a piece of equity or ownership, any investments of 100,000 and greater. So on this opportunity, we can't offer ownership or equity because the house is being sold. So we've increased to 12% interest. And what we do in that, again, as DK said, we'll make a payment of first 6 months of interest in the beginning. And then it takes at this point about 2 months for us to be able to obtain permits on the lot once we close, about a 5-month construction window for build time. So even though we're writing the mortgages for a period of 12 months, oftentimes it's around month 7, 8 by the time those investments are completed. We will send a lien release over once we have a closing date. We'll have investors sign off on that. The property transfers, funds get returned. And if everybody's happy with how things went in the process, we can immediately get you invested into the next project.
Correct. And the mitigation of risk, I mean, yes, it exists in the mortgage and how we do that, but it starts way further than that. And that's where the lot acquisition, that's where the comps, like there's a big funnel. All right. Some of the examples, I mean, we walk every lot. We make sure there's no gopher turtles. There are no scrub jays. We check the national register for sinkholes. Florida has a lot of sinkholes. So we want to make sure what claims are on the street. And if there's like too many claims on the street, then we know the aquifer in Florida is like something's about to collapse there. So even because sometimes you kind of wonder, well, if a lot is $30,000 and these people are selling it for 10, there's always something wrong. So my bloodhound knows for legal, it carries over into real estate. There's just nothing that will be missed. And so it starts from there. And then from once we know, okay, this lot is good, the comps are strong. There's a lot of new construction builds, we make the offer. And then, we acquire the lot, we submit it through permitting. And it's during that time, some of which you've, I see some common names that I recognize, the private lender, you lend your funds and then, we start that mortgage and note. So before that conversation even happens with Jack that, hey, we have a property that's available, there's already a lot of due diligence that's already occurred. And something I want to say that's a common question that's asked. And Jack, you mentioned, like, sometimes when people hear spec homes, they think of this subdivision where there's just a few trees and there's not one house in the subdivision. That's not what we're building. We're building in markets where it's already 25 to 35% already built out. There on a given street, if there's like say 10 lots on the right, 10 lots on the left, I'd say there's 4 or 5 houses. And if the lot has city water, it's probably 50% already built out, and we're just buying a lot where there's already houses there. It's not like it's a Walking Dead zombie apocalypse situation. There are already homeowners there. There's already, existing infrastructure that's already there. So I just don't want people to hear spec home. Oh my goodness, they're building a house and it's random and there's no neighbors. No, there are people on the streets. Let me share my screen. I want to touch upon ODC and Jack. I did not tell you today, so I thought I'd give you a surprise. So let me see if you smile. I know you will. So watch. Let me see.
The areas that we're building too. We're building in Ruskin, Palm Bay, Ocala, and Marion Oaks. Those are the communities right now that we're building. The price of the lots makes sense. The logistics, the community, the growth, the days at market. Those are the community. Those are right now the communities that we're focusing in. While you're pulling that up, we'll just speak quickly about minimum investment. We do not have a minimum investment. Our interest is to bring everyone in at whatever price point that they feel the most comfortable with. Anybody that would invest 100,000 or greater would have first lien position on the project. Anybody less than 100,000 would not have that position, but we're typically at about 62% to 65% all in. So there's a lot of equity in the project. So the lien position really doesn't have that much of a bearing as long as your mortgage is recorded.
Correct. So I want to say another way we also mitigate risk is not only once the deal is funded, we visit the site every 14 days or so, maybe up to 21 days, depending upon a particular metric, because once a small inspection has passed, we want to double check. We double check accounting, budget versus actual. Let's see here. You can see here on this particular property, 7604 Southwest 132nd Place. These are all the different times that we visited, whether it's Jason, myself, or we have someone's physically viewing the property. But like we said, ODC, they're great in the logistics. They have their own internal software, which I'm going to show you today here. But yeah, like we walk the property, we double check things. And yeah, this is a 2081 heated square foot model. It's a 4-bed, 3-bath. It's since been tiled. I don't want to click too fast here. This is the kitchen area. It's 9'4" ceilings.
And that's another point. We're able to build new homes at a lower cost basis than buying and rehabbing. And again, the height of the ceilings, the layouts, the designs, the floor plans, we can't obtain that with remodeling a house. Now, there may come a time, there will come a time that we will see more foreclosures and the tide will shift and it will make more sense to start rehabbing. But for the foreseeable future, the best play, the safest play, the highest returns are building new homes.
Yes, and this house will get CO in about 3 weeks. And so it's just all finishing work at this point. So I just wanted to let you know, like, yeah, we're out there physically seeing. We're not just trusting our great partner in ODC, but here, Jack, I wanted to show you. This finally got unveiled today. I've been working with ODC on a part of the weekly business with their tech team, things that I wanted to see, at least round one. So finally, here's round one of the internal portal, because I was tired of, I'm happy for these weekly meetings, but there's certain weekly meetings that can be done that we could go without by just having this screen. So that same address there, it shows their internal systems here. And it shows so as soon as a permit gets issued, their system automatically pre-populates into their subcontractor dates. Like, you're showing up on this date. And if their main subcontractors don't show up, guess what? It's like a football team. The second string people show up. And so it's all automated. Everything's done automated. All their subcontractors are they get the notification. If they don't respond by the end of business day, they lose out on the job, because that's how much power they have. And so example, we're reaching the end here. You see here, it says 9/24 is the projected CO date. And, it says confirmed. That means, the mechanical guy is going to show up, it's all organized. It's all right there. So there is no longer a situation where, hey, is someone showing up on this job or not? It all shows up. It shows our deck here on the left, Jack, right? Some of these don't have addresses yet because the building permit has not been issued. Right. So we have this here in Ocala and in Citrus Springs, and then here is Palm Bay. And so I know I noticed some of you guys have invested in here. So like Upland, Altura, Bridgeport, Fletcher. So we have it by city, geographic region. And so, I mean, this thing has been amazing. And for them, the subcontractors don't get paid unless they have some type of proof. So here you have the project manager who is looking at the project itself and then doing field verification on our behalf. And so it's been great. This is just version 1. I'm already on like version 3. I want to see this. I want to see that. I want to see this. And so they keep on saying, just hold on. Let's get version 1. Version 1 is out, and it's good. So we have like a double fail-safe. So not only are the project managers and the superintendents all uploading pictures and double checking, you know, twice a day what's happening to the project, but then when we go out after a huge metric or a huge inspection that has passed, like we can, you know, also take a look and see what's happening or what's not happening, or if something's installed, if it's kind of like crooked, or, you know, we can talk about that. So that
also, ODC is getting paid in a series of about 5 different subs based upon progress. So if you can see here, there is a specific item for each task that has to get done, whether it's completed, photos that are attached. So ODC is not getting paid, and their subcontractors are not getting paid unless those progress points are green and complete. So there's been so many people that I've known through the years that have never worked with contractors, and they say, give me 50% down. And they do that, and then they never see that 50,000 or work with that person ever again. So this is something through experience is not going to happen. You can see the level of progress here, the level of detail of tracking and photos and documentation, that your monies are very secure, and these projects are very well looked after.
Yes, I can tell you this, with now this system here on top of what we already have. I mean, this is, yeah. I don't have to make a phone call anymore. Hey, what's happening? You know, like where are we? Like this will give a good stage of, you know, where things are. And so, so yeah. I mean, this is great. I mean, this is an awesome tool. I don't know any other contractor in the state of Florida or anywhere that has it so dialed in like this. It's shocking. And here's also the other part here. And I know this is live. I haven't been able to play with it because my meeting ended at 4 today. And so example, like if we had a little question about like the permit or whatever, like right here, septic permit. Right? I mean, everything is right there. There is no confusion. You do not have to ask, hey, please scan. Like it has every single document that was filed, and it's all right there. I mean, that's beautiful. How many times have you had, like, I remember in the rehab, my last rehab was like 2-3 years ago. Hey, give me this invoice. Something's not adding up. And you're, oh yeah, I'll get it to you, right? None of that. Everything is black and white right here. No questions asked.
Another huge advantage of ODC is as far as suppliers and subs, they own the market. So as up here in Cleveland, Ohio, I'm rehabbing a bunch of apartments, but still I'm a very small fish. When you're building 7,000 homes in a market, your suppliers can do everything they can to protect that account, because you're going to provide about 90% of their gross revenue. If you're a plumbing contractor, you can do some work for homeowners, or you could have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homes, but they have such leverage in the position that they have. We can never have this level of efficiency if we were building outside of ODC. With ODC, we have incredible price points. We have suppliers, we have subs, we have logistics, we have processes. So it only makes sense for us to have this partnership.
Yeah, and like I just clicked on the spec sheet. Everything is here. This is posted at the job site. The project managers have it in their folders, and so I've actually used this because, like, sometimes like a chrome, and there's nothing wrong with chrome, but we have all our finishes in satin nickel, and so once in a while a random chrome sink comes in, or you know. For the vanity. And then I was like, wait a minute, like, look at here. I take a picture, send it to the project manager, and they're like, oh crap, you know? So, I mean, everything is here. There is no question of like, hey, you know, did we order this or that? Everything is literally right at the fingertips. And And the best part of this, it's all mobile capability on a smartphone, Jack. And so now I'm out there, or Jack, or like it's right at our fingertips, which is great, But this has been a long time in coming, and I know it's going to get better and better. So I just want, instead of talking about a couple of things, I wanted to show you internally, what we're doing, what our contractor is doing to help mitigate risk. Because at the end of the day, for me, and this is just me as my attorney background, I'm always worried about risk. Always. It's not just from the lot acquisition. It's how do we get to the finish line, and what are we doing in between? And this system here that they already have, but now it's in mobile form and desktop version, like we can see everything crystal clear. So
that is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And that's the first time that I've actually have seen that myself. That is amazing.
Don't worry, I'll give you the username and password, Jack.
Please do. That's awesome. We'll try to wrap this up soon, guys. I know we're a little bit long here, but we briefly touched about this. The notes and mortgages, 12 months by the time we locate the lot, get the permits in place. Permitting is about 2 months. About 5 to 6 months of the construction. So around month 7 to 8 is when the funds are getting returned at that point on average. And then again, if everything's good to go, we can immediately jump into the next deal. And so some people ask, why are we using private capital versus bank financing? Private capital is just a lot faster, simpler, and easier to move forward with. We have a lot of capital raised with you, a lot of you on this call right here. And we need to find another project to put the capital into. So by the time, if we go with bank financing, we pay for appraisals, we pay for lender underwriting, garbage fees, documentation. We have to pay for each draw separately. By the time you add all those junk fees up with a higher 5 to 6% interest rate, because construction financing is more expensive, it is actually more affordable for us to be able to pay investors 12%. And really the goal for us is not trying to pick up pennies. Our goal is to do volume because the market is in our favor. We have, we have the market in our favor. So we want to be able to work with that and do as many houses as makes sense at this point. DK just showed some photos, but here's just a photo of a house that just got wrapped up. I already briefly talked about the specs of what we're building in 3 to 4 bedrooms, 13 to 2,000 square feet. And again, just a few progress slides here of a project starting in May 3rd, going to July 5th, just seeing the progress. And again, the last photo you saw in DK's Dropbox, there's photos about every 2 weeks of the progress of each project. Anybody that's investing in a project, you're welcome to have access to those. We talked about the note of mortgage protection already. And that pretty much concludes it, everybody. Here's my information here. If anybody is interested, would like to fund a deal, we have plenty available. We have more lots that we're in the process of locking up at the moment. We have no minimum investment. Each lot is going to be generally between 15 to 30,000, more than likely 20 to 30,000 per lot. And the entire construction process build is going to be an average of about 200,000, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, depending which house is selected. And again, really appreciate everybody for jumping on this. Let me take a look at the couple.
Yeah, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do. First position with 100,000, is that correct? Yes, that is correct. So $100,000 investment will for sure make sure that you have first lien position. For those that may not be at 100,000, I wouldn't be concerned that your second, third lien position, because each one of these projects have a significant amount of equity in them, which is our profit, meaning that we would have to take a pretty sizable loss on that project before we're at a point of breaking even. That's just in this market, it's just not going to happen. In all the years of doing this business, never once have we short an investor or not paid an investor. We've never lost money for an investor. I have made money. I have for sure lost money, but I didn't start raising capital until I was about 14 years in the business, where I really got a lesson of hard knocks of what to do and what not to do, and dealing with contractors and subs. So that is just something that just has never happened, and we're not going to allow that to happen. A number of years ago, I was flipping a bunch of houses and I had a few deals that ran short. And in those circumstances, when that happened, I pulled money out of a retirement account. I made those investors whole. I had an apartment building. We have one that just refinanced where there's a slight gap of paying everybody back, but we have a solution. I'm just going to take cash flow from that project and offset those payments to get that investor paid back for that small amount of gap. So there's a solution, there's a process that we're going to make sure everybody is made whole. Because if we do the right thing, then that's going to allow those relationships to facilitate and grow and referrals. But the moment that we do something unethical and we cheat somebody, we lie to somebody, we've lost our reputation. That one-time event just cleared out everything we've done in the past. So that's just something that just is not an option. Let me take a look at a few other questions here. Angie, thank you very much. Awesome here. What parts of the project are handled by ODC and what parts by Florida Pro Builders? So Florida Pro Builders, we are locating and we are making the decision of what lots we want to purchase and what communities. We're making the decision of what houses we want to build. We're raising the capital and we're overseeing and giving ODC the go ahead to be able to build that home. And then at that point, we're monitoring the project through beginning to end. And then at that point, once the house is getting closer where we can then put it in the market, we're putting that property on the market, we're bringing the buyers in, and then we're taking handling of all the dispositions of that project at that end. ODC is handling basically from permit to occupancy permit, the entire process, material supplier subs, that entire sheet that we had, not sheet, but the website that we had seen, they're handling all those pieces. But again, we're also verifying that. And then they're also taking care of any warranty claims in the first year that are going to handling after that homeowner moves in. So there's going to be some drywall pops and some small things. Again, we are trying to build the best house we can, but we are imperfect people working with imperfect materials. So we're never going to have a perfect product. So when those small things do come up, then we just come in and ODC is taking care of it. Does anybody else have any questions? If not, we'll get this concluded. And again, I really appreciate everybody taking the time to jump in here.
Well, there's the Q&A here.
Yes, we do here. Do you have that open up? Do you want to answer the flat interest or compound interest? As far as points, we do not pay any points.
Yeah, we don't pay any points. It's simple interest. Is that your official email address?
So I have like 7 emails. This has been my go-to email for about the last like 25 years. That's why I run with that one. So I'm just sharing that one because that's the one out of habit that I check consistently. But yes, I've got about 7 other emails on that one. Is it an ongoing opportunity? Yes, it is an ongoing. There's no deadline. As long as the market, interest rates, and the conditions make sense to continue to build, there will always be an opportunity. We are not a high pressure sales team. I know people that do this. Like, there's 7 spots available. Oh, I just checked my phone. 6 are taken, 1's left. We don't do that. Whenever the timing works for you, you take your time, check us out, vet us out, look into our references, do background checks, make sure you're comfortable before you do anything with us. 6 months of interest is great. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Gene, I cut that check to you, so you definitely know. I want to say something else as well. I was born in Tampa, so I'm a rare Floridian, and so and Jason was also born in Florida. I think he was born in Miami or something. But yeah, we have 2 Floridians, local. We look just like Jack. We're cut from the same cloth. I am not here to hurt my reputation or affect it in any single way, and that's one of the reasons why I'm I have an attorney background. I am here to mitigate risk, and if the deals don't make sense when the lots are purchased, we are not doing them. But because of that, everyone here locally is like, what is going on? What is happening here? Which is great. We got D.R. Horton in the same areas. Like, you got the D.R. Horton and the Pulte Group house, which are a little bit lower, but guess what? People love our houses. And if you are in Florida and you want to see one of these houses, or if you've funded one of the deals, please contact. I'd be more than happy to show you the houses. And then when we do the property launch, Jack, I mean, that's something that we're gonna have to talk about. But yeah, I'd love to have it recorded and filmed, or a live stream or something, because I am telling you, these houses are, it's just crazy what we've been able to do, and that's because ODC's labor and material power that they have. So.
Yes. And DK mentioned he's in Florida, and I'm stuck in Ohio. So coming to visit the properties, that would be awesome. Gene would absolutely love to meet you up down there. Is ODC software available for investors? And if so, how can I purchase it?
No, it's not. They have spent, I'm not going to say, let's just say it's well into the 6 digits. This is a first in the contracting industry. I can say maybe they have aspirations, but they've poured too much money into this that it's definitely 100% proprietary. And so yeah.
Awesome. I'll give it another few minutes to see if anyone else has questions. Then we'll jump off here, just out of respect of everybody's time. And again, very much appreciate everybody for jumping on this evening. We're going to try to have these on a quarterly basis and be more consistent with them. Things just got really messed up, obviously, with COVID, and probably just makes more sense for us to shoot for every quarter to do one of these. But again, if there's anybody here that has invested in a project or wants to invest, would like to come down, have an excuse to go to Florida, definitely can pull that off.
Yes, I think I saw one last question come in. I'm not sure. Hold on here. I'm trying to click. Jack, do you see it here?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Jack, DK, and Roberta, for very informative.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Again, if anybody has questions afterwards, they think of it, whatever the case is, please feel free to reach out. We're more than happy to be fully transparent and answer anything that we can. No minimum investment, we do not have minimum investment. Our focus and what we're interested in is building relationship and building rapport. Doing my apartments, I had one investor come in with $5,000. Most people would have turned that down. $5,000 can get spent in 2 minutes doing an apartment complex. But I didn't care about that. What I cared about, building relationship. And that gentleman referred me to his friend that has over $800,000 invested with us. Right now, we have over $10 million invested between houses and apartments right now. So we definitely have a track record, but there's no pressure. We start out at whatever amount makes sense for you, whether it be cash, whether it be through a self-directed IRA. And then once you're comfortable that at that point, we've gained your trust, most people will invest significantly more and refer us to their friends and family. So that's why we don't have a minimum investment.
I think that's a wrap.
I think that's good. Well, I'm going to end this. And again, thank you so much, everybody, for coming out. And again, if anybody has any specific questions, that phone number here is at the bottom, 440-552-8483. You can email me if you want. But again, probably just calling me would just be simple and easier. And again, we can